Hi everyone, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Centers, and we're here in one of our coworkers' backyards. And when you're getting out and putting the garden to bed in fall, you kind of go in phases. You start working at different plant areas. Things that start to yellow and die back sooner would be, for example, the annuals and then perennials. So we've kind of gone through, cleaned all those up, perennials next, cut those back. And now we're getting to some of the trees and shrubs that you probably want to protect for the winter. And one of them is going to be your Mophead hydrangeas. So these are Hydrangea Macrophylla or phylla, however you want to say it. And what's really what we want everybody to take away from this is the Macrophylla hydrangeas bloom, bud and bloom on old wood. So that means right now this plant has tiny little buds on its stems that are already sitting there and have developed, and they are going to be the blooms that you see next year. So it really is important in Northeast Ohio to protect Macrophylla hydrangeas. There are many new varieties of these types of hydrangeas that bloom on old wood and new wood. For example, Endless Summer is a very popular series where there are several types of Endless Summer type hydrangeas where they do produce buds on the old wood now and then on the new wood in the spring and summer. So with the Macrophyllas, however, in Northeast Ohio, they tend to get desiccated over the winter time. So it's a really good idea to obviously, and you'll see here, what we did first is we kind of trimmed off the spent blooms, and with a Macrophylla, I only trimmed 2 nodes down the stem. So it's a very short cut stem here, and obviously we can use this in dried arrangements and what have you. And then the rest of the stems you leave on your hydrangea, okay? The next thing you do is you could try to clean them up as best you can. If there are still leaves on the stems after a hard frost, the leaves will start to fall and dry up and die. But after a hard frost, sometimes they stay on, so you can take all the leaves off of the hydrangea stems and then clean up the base of the hydrangea. What we don't want is we don't want a lot of leaf litter there where rodents and other critters could kind of nestle in for the winter. Then what you do is you can spray the stems with Wilt Stop. Wilt Stop is an anti-desiccant spray, and it is all natural, but what's great about it is it seals in the moisture in these stems. And lots of times in Northeast Ohio, it's not necessarily the winter weather that does the plant in or, damages the plant. It's the dry winter winds that steal all the moisture away from the plant leaves and needles and stems in this case. So again, that Wilt Stop, one application of that, spray it down. It doesn't have to drip. It's just a mist all over the plant. And then the next thing, all you need to do is take a piece of burlap and wrap right around the stems of the hydrangea. I just tied the ends in knots. And then on the top, I just took some floral wire and kind of wove it in and out of the top to tie it together. So now it's in its nice little burlap sack and all protected for the winter. The last thing that you want to do, and this is especially later in the fall season, late November, beginning of December, when the ground starts to get very cold and we're getting into the colder and colder temperatures, is apply that winter protection layer of mulch. And so winter protection mulch is sometimes anywhere from, let's say, 4 to 8 inches deep. And you're going to go ahead and apply that all the way around the hydrangea, protecting the base of the stems and obviously the crown of the plant, also keeping that root system basically protected for the winter, keeping the moisture in there, and then also just keeping, mulch helps regulate soil temperature. So that's a really good thing to have around plant material, especially your Mophead hydrangeas. So winter protection for hydrangeas, Mophead, Macrophylla, and you also want to do this for any Oakleaf hydrangeas because they also bloom on old wood. Okay, so those are the 2 families that you really want to make sure you're protecting over the winter. And if the least thing you can do is put some mulch around them, that's great. But obviously spraying them and wrapping them is gonna really help your blooms for next year. Enjoy.